Week 3, the NFL season kicks off in under an hour with the Carolina Panthers visiting the Houston Texans, but we're going to break down all the game and try to win everyone some cash. So let me turn it over to the host of this program, the Philly Godfather.
Hey, guys. First off, I want to thank the almost 3,000 sports bettors last week that watched the show. We got a big show planned today. Let me introduce my esteemed colleagues. First off, you see them on the front page of every newspaper in the country. One of the greatest sports bettors in the world, Jimmy the Sheep Batista. Jimmy, you there?
Yes, I am.
Good stuff. Because last week you gave out the Cowboys as your game of the week, and no one can hear you, so we had to give it out for you. So I'm just checking up on you, brother.
I'm good to go. I'm ready for another exciting week. I understand you have a great guest on this week, so I'm so privileged to be on this show.
Absolutely. I got my friend Bruno from ibetcrypto.io. You can follow him on Twitter at ibetcrypto. Bruno, how you making out tonight, brother?
Awesome, guys. Great to be on the show. Jimmy was fortunate enough to connect us, so I'm really happy to be on with you guys and see what it is that you guys do every week. Looking forward to it and chatting a little bit about some cryptocurrency as well.
Good stuff. And I'm going to, me and Bruno are going to break down exactly what he does after I introduce everybody. Next up, when sports bettors are looking for a sports betting hero, they call Batman at Gotham City Vig. Batman, what's going on, brother?
Good evening. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. I finally get to hear Jimmy Batista's voice. I can't wait. This is my favorite episode so far.
Listen, Kate Crusader, I have to thank you for your Cincinnati game on Saturday. An excellent choice. I have to give you your kudos, my friend. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Next up, they call him the future of sports betting. Matt from the College Kids. Matt, I know you got some games you want to give out this week, right?
Yeah, we got a couple games we're eyeing up for this weekend. Hoping to have a good weekend.
And last but not least, he's probably the hottest sports player in the world right now. He's won 12 out of his last 13 wagers. The April, are you ready to go?
Ready to go. Another big week in the NFL.
All right, cool. All right, let's start off with Bruno from ibetcrypto.io. Bruno, I checked out your website, an amazing website. Explain to everyone listening out there and watching exactly what separates your website from all the other websites out there.
Yeah, so many of the sports bettors around the world today obviously have found our good friend Bitcoin, Ethereum, some of our the big players. So that's kind of my world, as you guys' world with the sports betting. They're onboarding into these platforms all around the world with cryptocurrency assets to give them a lot of benefits, right? They can have a lot of opportunity to be very, very nimble in the way that they deposit and take out their winnings. So what we've actually developed is something that's very radical. It's on the blockchain. So it's not just a deposit method where they can, fund our account anymore. It's actually betting on the chain in a blockchain coded environment where they are completely in control of their bet. So really what that means is they're able to control their crypto asset from wager to reward without any intermediary. And it's a completely secured environment, like you said, ibetcrypto.com. So we have tonight's game up there. I think the odds right now are 2.47 on the Houston side of things. So starting to see some very different odds because this is people versus people, right? So there is no line, there is no spread, there's no money line, there's no house. It's really people versus people. So really that peers-to-peers model on a blockchain. So, it might be Greek to some people, but this technology is really coming hard and fast, and it empowers the community to be able to control their destiny. So that's what we're really excited about on our side. Sports betting, obviously, biggest by dollar industries in the world. So this is definitely something that is starting to shape out, and it's going to change the future of sports betting, in our opinion. So really excited to be on the show with you guys and chat it up and, answer any questions that people might have about the tech and what it's all about.
Yeah, and the best part is you don't have to ask your bookie to pay you. You don't have to contact offshore to send you your money. It's in your bank account instantly, right?
Yeah, so all you need is a cryptocurrency wallet with us. So that's the most important part. And we have now just released today a tutorial video. We can get that out after the show where basically if you are an Android user and you've never done crypto before, in less than 2 minutes, we can get you onboarded and have you actually purchasing the crypto assets that you need to start placing wagers on ibetcrypto.com. So very seamless integration on mobile Androids through the Trust Wallet app. So Trust Wallet's a very well-known cryptocurrency wallet, very reputable, and it gives us the opportunity to onboard people that really have no technical knowledge about cryptocurrency at all. So if it's something that you've been thinking about doing, we can really quickly educate you and get you onboarded onto the platform. And like you were saying, basically your payout is immediate and you're in charge of it. So you claim your crypto rewards right back to the wallet that you signed up with. Oh, by the way, it's only 2 clicks. You click to connect your wallet and you click to connect your smart contract, and then you're done and your bets are in. So it's very seamless, super efficient, highly secured, and it's kind of the future of sports betting. That's the way we see it.
Yeah, and let me go to Jimmy. Jimmy, what do you like so much about this new website? Because you're the one who brought it to my attention. What are the main attractions for you as a professional sports bettor for over 35 years? Why did you fall in love with this website?
Well, traditionally, I look at how gaming has evolved from the days that we were working off these big handheld walkie-talkies back in the late 80s, and rotary phones and so on, and computers in the early 90s where everything, and Don Best and Jim Feist and everything. And I look back on how everything was, the simplistic of it on the smart contracts and blockchain theory, that it's incredible that this is the future of sports betting. If you're a gambler and you're in today's market, if you're not betting on iBet Crypto, you're doing yourself an injustice.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you're able to go in there under 3 different platforms, if you care to bet something under like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or something like that, which is great. The algorithm spits out a new number every 5 minutes, which is great. Now you have your gaming platform, which is, you can now say the Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers, and the gaming platform of smart contracts. It's faster. And the beauty is, if you're a gambler, you had a great week and you picked up a few thousand, and maybe you got to go to a casino and cash your ticket, or you got to meet your agent and you got to worry about CTRs. Well, with cryptocurrency, that don't exist. So when that game goes final at 1 o'clock and you see actual money in your wallet, you're done. 3 seconds, you're paid. What else more can you ask for? If you've been in this market for the past 30-something years, you know the problems dealing with waiting to get paid at times. And and
that's if you ever get paid. Sometimes you get stiffed.
Yeah, sometimes you get stiffed. There ain't no stiffed here. This is foolproof security, and it's fantastic. And
Right.
this the future.
All right, Bruno, you're welcome to stay on as long as you want. We're going to start breaking down the games. It's up to you. Is there anything else you want to tell the people before we start breaking down the NFL games?
Yeah, so one of the things I think that's, before I'll probably hop off where you guys really get deep into the sports side of things, but this, what we saw last weekend with NFL Sunday was we actually saw some favorites getting 5 to 10x odds, right, in the NFL. So kind of crazy to see the tide flip with the statistics that you're not used to seeing, because this is a new place to really come and get an edge. I'm a poker player myself. I don't know if you guys play poker. You're always looking for an edge, right, when you're gambling in any capacity. So this is a new platform where we're going to have new entrants that you're going to be able to gain an edge, because people are going to come in and they're going to bet possibly their favorite team. They're going to bet against something that may not make sense. And then you can pick up those high odds, which is what we're all looking for. So I really am excited personally about that. There's a way, obviously I founded it and we're behind it, but it's a great platform to be involved in too, if you're a bettor. So, we can get new edges in this environment, this new ecosystem that we're building out for the world. So, I'd encourage everybody to check it out. And the odds on our site are going to be so much different than you're going to see on MyBookie or any of these other big sports betting sites. And it's going to give you an opportunity to find a new edge. So we're really excited. Can't thank you guys enough for having me on, The Godfather. It was a pleasure hanging out with you in Philly recently, and looking forward to driving more sports bettors over to crypto.
Well, I'm on there. I'm on iBet Crypto. Jimmy's on there. I suggest everyone go there, check it out. Bruno, tell everyone where they can find you on social media and the name of the website again.
Yeah, it's at iBet Crypto. So the website, you can either go to ibetcrypto.io or ibetcrypto.com. And we're on Instagram, Twitter at ibetcrypto. So we can drop that stuff. And we're following you. So we'll retag, repost, and share some love together.
Good stuff, bro. Thanks for coming on, man. Love you.
Hey, guys.
All right,
Thanks,
let's get
Bruno.
to NFL, man. Let's go to NFL Sunday. We'll hit the Thursday night game last. Game 469, 470 on your sports betting screen. Arizona tries to travel to Jacksonville, and Arizona's been looking lights out. They come back, big victory last week against Minnesota. They blew out Tennessee first week of the season. 7.5 point favorites. Totals right around 51. I talked to Dave Mason from Bet Online, and he told me as of right now, 75% of all the action is on the Cardinals, and right around 70% on the over. Let me go to Batman first. Batman, you got an opinion on this one?
I don't have any side on this. I mean, I think the line, the number is a little bit high right now. It's 7.5, 8. I mean, I strongly lean Jags, even though their performance has been terrible in the market. I just think that it's so much money. Arizona is so overvalued after how they've played. If I played it, it would be Jacksonville, but it's just a lean today.
Yeah, who's typing on there? Is someone on here typing? We can hear you.
Not
Like,
me.
it sounds.
Not me.
Somebody's typing. Anyway, let me go to the 8 Ball, who's been on fire, 12-1 in his last 13 wagers. 8 Ball, you got an opinion on this one?
I like the Cardinals at -7 here. The Jags haven't looked good on both sides of the ball for me. Trevor Lawrence still looks a little shaky, and I don't know how they're going to be able to keep up, scoring points with this Arizona team that's lighting it up right now.
All right, go next game on the screen. The Colts travel to Tennessee. Tennessee somehow found a way to beat Seattle last week. With no Carson Wentz, game's up to 5.5, 6 in some spots. Totals at 48. Jimmy, you like a side or a total on this one?
I'm going with my Philly special, even though I could only bet Carson Wentz in this game. I could only bet the Colts.
But he's not playing. You like the Colts plus 6?
Yeah, I'm hoping I can grab more. Hopefully, Rooster's on the favorite, and his 3 followers will buy a lot of points and move the numbers up. So,
Well, he couldn't make it tonight. He told me he's over at
I
Pete.
can only bet the dog here.
Yeah, he told me he's at Pete because he couldn't make it.
Hey, Jimmy, if
Listen.
Carson Wentz doesn't play, do you still like the Colts?
I still like the Colts.
Okay.
Yeah, I still like the Colts. It's a numbers thing for me.
Mark, you got an opinion on this?
I give a lot of credence to how they were getting it. They were beat in against last week, and they were getting beat pretty bad. They came back and they actually blew the game at the end, but they came back and they took control of the game. And I got to give them some respect right there. I mean, the Rams are a decent team.
Yeah. All right, let's go next game on the board.
Yeah.
Baltimore travels to Detroit. I don't know how Baltimore beat Kansas City, but they did it. Huge emotional win the previous week. Detroit was in the game, and if Aaron Rodgers doesn't make some miraculous throws in that matchup, they probably cover the spread. The game's a lot closer than it finished. Let me go to 8 Ball. 8 Ball, you like a side or a total on this one?
No, I don't have anything on this game right now.
College kids, you like anything?
Nothing on this game, but I do have a move on the next game, so stay tuned.
If I did have to pick a side on this one, I'm leaning Detroit. I like the way they move the ball both games, and Baltimore's defense has looked a little shaky first 2 games this year.
It's a big number. It's up to 8.5. I saw some 9.5 earlier in the week.
Let down.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, and they're banged up. Baltimore's all banged up. I mean, Detroit can hang around. They got a strong offensive line. Jared Goff's has proven that he can play even though he's not on the Rams and McVay's not protecting him. I like Detroit here. Plus the points at home. I think it's a ton of points, Mark.
The back door's wide open.
Well, the thing is, if you combine their first half from Monday night and their second half from week 1, they've played a couple of decent halves of football, have the Detroit Lions. They just haven't put it together for 4 quarters.
Yeah, and as of right now, Dave Mason told me right around 70% of the money's on Baltimore and close to 60% of the money is on the over. So I never want to be on the public side. Well, let's go next game on the screen. Game 475, 476. Washington travels to Buffalo. Washington's defense not looking like they're supposed to. They're supposed to be juggernauts on the defensive side of the ball. Buffalo bounces back last week with a huge win after losing the first week of the season to Pittsburgh. Let me go to the college kids first. Matt, you got a side or a total on this one?
Yeah, I'm liking Washington plus a 7, but I really like the under here. These teams are a top 5 team in in scoring defense. Number 1, I believe, is Buffalo, and number 4 is Washington, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm really big on the offensive lines, defensive lines. We look at the offensive lines, defensive lines, all right? If we look at Josh Allen, he's been pressured the 6th most out of any quarterback in the league, despite being only pressured 29 out of 32 quarterbacks, or blitzed 29 out of 32 quarterbacks in the whole NFL starting quarterbacks. We look at blitz percentages. Washington's number 2. So despite only being number 29 in the starting quarterbacks blitzed, this guy, they're getting hits on Josh Allen. They're hurrying him. They're getting pressure on him. Now he's going to versus Washington, which is 2nd in blitz percentage. He's going to have some trouble this week. So I do like Washington, and I do like the under.
Hey, Paul, you like anyone in this matchup?
No, I don't love this game as of now. I'm gonna wait and see how Sunday, see if I can get a better number or not.
Batman, you leaning any way here?
Yeah, man. The last game I played Detroit +10 at the opener, and I played Washington football team here big +10 at the opener too as well.
Love it.
Buffalo's one-dimensional here. I don't think people are giving enough credence to how good the Buffalo quarterback Allen has been and how well he's played under duress. And he's done a good job. But, man, this is a different team, a different secondary. I think you see it took a little bit of time for Washington to get their feet. And I think that defense got their feet in the second half last week. I think you're going to see a big game from them. And I got to tell you, man, the sprinkle of the Washington money line, I think, is a great play this week, in my opinion.
Yeah, look at Washington.
What's that?
If you look at Washington, number 4 in QB hurries, they're number 6 in pressure percentage. This team's getting to the quarterback, and now they're versing a team, Josh Allen, he's been pressured the 6th most out of any quarterback. And if you look at the amount of QB hits, he's number 2 in QB hits right behind Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is now hurt. So, and now we have Washington, they blitzed the 2nd most right behind Tampa Bay in the league.
And I think the biggest reason for that is to second that, and I agree, is the Buffalo run game. I think it's non-existent, and I think that they need to get back to that to protect him because, in the NFL, when you can run the football, the pass is set up all the time, and they're not showing that this year, and I think they're in trouble and maybe a little in-season regression coming up. I agree.
Yeah, and after 2 weeks, these teams have had some time to get cohesive, and the better teams are going to start excelling, and you're going to see the inferior teams start to, go the other way. I like Washington as well. Let's go next game on screen, game 477, 478. Saints got blown out last week. They had some COVID issues after a huge week 1 win over the Packers. Last week they lose to the Panthers. This week they got to travel to face Bill Belichick in New England, which isn't going to be easy. Spreads right around 3. Dave Mason from Bet Online basically told me the game's a 50-50 split right now with the bet percentages. There's some it's slightly tilted towards the over at 55% of the public's betting the over. Let me go to Mark. Mark, you got an opinion on this one?
Nah, not on this one.
All right, let me go to 8-Ball. 8-Ball, you like anything here?
I think the number's spot on this one. It seems like it's going to be a 3-point game, very close. Saints looked bad last week. They were dealing with COVID issues. I lean New England at home here, but nothing I played.
Let me go to Batman. Batman, you like anything here?
I studied this game. It opened at New England to pick, I think, right? And when I saw it get to 1, I took some New England -1 at home. I think that Bill Belichick's defense is elite in this league. I think they'll end up being a top 3 or 4 defense all season long. And, man, I'm going to tell you right now, Jameis Winston does what Jameis Winston does. And I like the New England secondary. I like their pass rush. I think New England, anything of -2.5 or less is a great bet this weekend.
Jimmy, which way would you look to bet this game as a professional?
I'm only thing I'm worried about this game. I'm afraid that New England is looking ahead to next week when Papa Bear Brady comes back to New England, and I'm afraid that they're looking ahead. I mean, all the hype this week is talking about Brady with his father coming back to New England. I'm staying away from this week. I'm more concerned about the following week that New England could be waiting for him to come back.
I mean, at 3, I think they're begging for Saints money here.
Yeah, they are, and that scares me. When they're giving you something like that, then something.
Yeah, and Belichick loves to confuse young quarterbacks, and he also likes to confuse quarterbacks that have a problem with defenses. And Jameis over the years has showed his inefficiencies with all the interceptions that he's thrown. Anything under the field goal? Give me the Patriots at home, man. I just think they got the better defense. Obviously, the coaching
coach.
pretty close, but I give it to Belichick. I mean, he's the coach when it comes to coaching. Very conservative game here. I like the under when the number first popped. Now it's down to 42. I think it's dropped too much, so I can't touch it. But I like New England here at anything under a field goal. But let's go next game on the screen. This is going to be a good one. Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers travel to Kansas City to face Patrick Mahomes. Surprisingly, Kansas City gave up that lead last week, and they found a way to lose to Baltimore. Tough loss. Are they going to come out this week pissed off, upset? Game was down to 6.5. Now it's back up to 7, 7 flat. Let me go to Jimmy first. Jimmy, you like a side or a total here?
Hey, listen, if I can get 7 minus 05 in this game, I have to bet it. I mean, and thank God the public's. I don't think we'll go to 7.5, but 7's a great number here. I like the way the Chargers looked last week.
Yeah. Let me go to Batman. Batman, you like a side or a total here? Total's up to 55.
Yeah, I like the Chargers here in this spot. I think that this team is built to defend with their secondary to defend the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they've made positional changes to try to win this game specifically. I think that they're going to absolutely have a field day with the Kansas City defense, who is one of the worst ranked DVOA defenses after a couple weeks. I mean, I think that they're going to play zone. I think that the LA Chargers quarterback is going to have all day to throw the football. I think that 7 in a divisional game, also where the LA Chargers are hungry to as well and lost, and this is a game they have circled to win this division, which they can. The LA Chargers plus 7 is a great bet.
Yeah, when I talked to Dave Mason from Bet Online, as of right now, the money's on Kansas City. It's right around 60% of the early money's on Kansas City, and right about surprisingly 60% of the early money is also on the under 55. Let me go to 8-ball. 8-ball, you like a side here or a total?
Yeah, I love the Chargers plus 7. The Chiefs haven't impressed me yet this year. The defense hasn't done anything in the first 2 games to show me they're going to slow down Herbert and the Chargers. Now, on the other side, the Chargers have moved the ball, but they haven't been able to score, many points. The Chiefs' defense has given up a red zone scoring percentage of 100% to their opponents, last in the NFL through the first 2 weeks. So I think the Chargers are going to cover this game. They're going to score their points, and I think they have a chance to win this one outright.
Yeah, I got to take the plus 7 as well. Kansas City just doesn't look the same.
And if I believe the Chargers' offense and defense are both ranked higher than the Chiefs.
Yeah, and you know what? Justin Herbert's coming, man. He's going to be the next great quarterback, I think, in this league. His composure, his football IQ. I mean, the way he takes his team down the field, you're never out of the game with him. I just think 7 points is just too much here. Jimmy, all right, let's go to the next game on the screen. 481-42. Bad Falcons team travels to New York. Let me go to Matt from the college kids first. Matt, you got a side on this one?
I mean, Atlanta, I had them ranked as one of the worst teams coming into the season. I took Philly first week. I took a money line. I really do not like this Atlanta team on either sides of the ball. I think they should have got rid of Matt Ryan. They got to get him out of there. I think they got to blow it up. But, I mean, this Giants team, they had a nice week last week. It's hard for me to bet them anything, after 3. It's at 3 right now. You get 2.5, you take the Giants. You get 3.5, you take Atlanta.
Let me go to 8-ball. 8-ball, you like anyone here?
I like Atlanta in this game. I know they haven't looked that great on both sides of the ball this year, but the Giants, they gave up, I think, 27 to Denver, gave up 30 to Washington. Now they're going against an Atlanta team that does have weapons. They have, Ridley. I think they can move the ball down the field. They have Pitts. I think they'll be able to score their points. I don't think the Giants' defense is as good as they were last year. I think taking the 3 is the right side on this one.
Before I go to Batman, I talked to Dave Mason, and he said right around about 80% of the early money is on Atlanta, and right around 85% of the money is on the under in this one. The total is at 48. The line's 3. Batman, you like anyone here?
I like the New York Giants minus 2.5 or better. I think it's the right side of the game. I think the Atlanta Falcons. I think Saquon Barkley's coming out party in 2021 is this Sunday. When that total is that high at 47.5, these games tend to be a little bit less in that stadium. I think you're going to see the Giants be able to ball control, and I think Matt Ryan is in real trouble this year in the NFL with what I've seen him do and throw and react in certain pressure situations. Giants minus 2.5 for me or better.
There you go. All right, let's go next game. Let's go next game on the screen. 483-44. Bears travel to Cleveland Games down to 7.5, 7 in the market. Total went from 46 to 45, 45 and a half, depending on where you shop. Let me go to Jimmy. Jimmy, you got a side here? You like anyone here?
No opinion on this game, my friend.
Nothing at all, huh? All right, let me go to
Nothing
Batman.
at all.
You like anyone here?
I'm sorry.
Batman,
Is it my? I'm
you
sorry.
like anyone here?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd asked something else.
No,
Is
that's
the
okay.
line 7? Is that what you said it was?
It's down to 7, man. It's down to 7.
Yeah. I really like the Cleveland Browns here in this game. I'm gonna say it one more time that Justin Fields is gonna be a superstar. There's no doubt about it. If they can get him some offensive line to protect, I think he'll play well. I think you're going to see in this game the Cleveland front six are going to really dominate them. And I think he's going to really struggle in this game to perform. He may have some early success with just seeing how they're going to play, and the game might be a little bit close in the first or second quarter. But I think you're going to see Cleveland take over with their run game. And I don't think the Chicago Bears can slow down that Cleveland offense. I think -7 is a great bet here as well, as long as it's there or less.
Yeah, I'm laying 7 -15 as well. All right, let's go to the next game on the board. Game 485, 486. The Bengals travel to Pittsburgh. No Big Ben. Lines down to 3, -05, -02, 3 flat. Let me go to the college kids first. Matt from the college kids. Matt, you got a side here?
Actually, Big Ben, from what I hear, is planning to try to play this game. So this offensive line has been abysmal, to say the least. Since his defensive line has been looking awesome. Look at QB hits. Again, Pitt, Big Ben, he's been hit the third most, right behind Wentz and Allen. QB hurries, he's 9th in QB hurries. You look at pressure percentage, he's the 5th most pressured quarterback in the whole NFL, despite being 28th in times blitz. The Cincy defense is getting pressure on opponents, and they're actually 4th in blitz percentage. I think they're going to get to Big Ben. I mean, this guy is getting older, and that offensive line's not the same. This team is not the same. They're banged up on defense. You look at TJ Watt. He's hurt. You're looking at Alu. He got hurt last game. Joe Hayden was out last game, hurt. You got a hurt defense, which is not going to be the same. I think Burrow comes in. Since he comes in, you're getting +3, +4, whatever number you can. I think it's a great number. I think they have a shot to win outright.
I think you hold on to your nutsack and you bet the Bengals here on the money line. And Joe Burrows beats the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. Batman, you like anyone here?
You know what's interesting is in the city, the defense has actually played really well for the Bengals this year. I was metrically studying the game and looking at some of the Bengals defensive percentages. I was really surprised at how much better they've been playing this year on the defensive side. If Ben Roethlisberger plays, I think that's the advantage of the Bengals because he's going to be a statue back there from all of his injuries that he's had. I think +3 is the right side in the game.
Yeah, Dave Mason let me know that right around 60% of the early money, Dave Mason from Bet Online, 60% of the early money is on the Steelers, and right around 70% is on the under. I'm expecting actually some points here by Cincinnati. So be careful if you're betting that under now because it's down to 43, 42 and a half. It's moved a ton. Next game on the board, Miami travels to Las Vegas. Tough place to play out there. Line went from -1 Vegas to it's up to 4, 4.5. No Tua. I think Brissett's playing. The total is right around 44, 44 and a half-ish. Let me go to 8-Ball first. 8-Ball, I know you got a big future on the Vegas Raiders over their season win total, and I think you got to make the playoffs as well. You think they win this game?
I think they're actually going to lose this game. I love the Miami defense, the secondary. I like the fact that Brissett's starting instead of Tua. Tua looked bad the first 2 weeks. I think Brissett's going to be able to move that offense against the Raiders defense. And the Raiders are coming off 2 physical games against the Ravens, who love to play physical, and against the Steelers defense, who also plays physical. So I think, Miami +4, I think it's the right side in this one.
Okay, there you go. Let me go to the college kids. College kids, you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree with Miami. I actually think I like Miami +4. I know it's down to 3.5 in some spots. I'm looking right now. But, I mean, honestly, I'm not a big fan of Tua. I think it actually kind of helps the Miami Dolphins with Brissett, in my opinion, because he has more experience. Tua, sometimes you look at him, and out there he looks a little inexperienced. He's not ready for certain defenses. So I like Miami +4.
All right, let's go over the Thursday night game before it starts. Starts at 8:20 tonight. Carolina in Houston. No Tyrod Taylor. Game's up to 8.5, 9 at some spots. Man, let me go to Sheep first. Jimmy the Sheep Batista. Jimmy, you got an opinion on this Houston game?
I'm sorry to say I really do. I love the Texans. This number's just how can the game be 9 and the total 43? I mean, it's just wrong. I mean, if the total was 48, then you know what? Okay, you can go lay your 7, your 7.5 and 8 and buy it down. This is dog. This is a dog game tonight. And if I can take 8.5 and 9, I would take in 7.5 plus money I saw earlier today. But thank God we have the public out there.
Let me go to Batman real quick. Batman, you got an opinion on this one?
I took the Texans plus the 9. I took them pretty healthy. I also played a prop bet tonight. I bet Davis Mills, the quarterback, over 1.5 touchdown passes at plus 210. I think it's a great mark, a great metric. I think everybody's going to think this is, that they're not going to be able to put up any points. And I just see it differently. I think Davis Mills is going to throw a couple touchdown passes, stay within the 9. That's the number I have. And I agree with Jimmy the Sheep.
8-Ball, agree with these guys?
Actually disagree. I took the Panthers early in the week, -7. They've showed, their defense, one of the top defenses in the league right now. They held New Orleans, I think, to 7 points. You have a rookie quarterback on a short week. I don't think that helps the Texans. The Texans' defense, doesn't impress me at all. And Tyrod Taylor, to me, was the key holding them together, not turning the ball over. I think they get to Mills, the defense, and I don't think the Texans are going to be able to stop the Panthers in this one.
Matt, you like that side or you like the other side?
I took Carolina in a teaser. I look at this game. I look at Houston. I think 8-Ball's right with Tyrod Taylor. I think he was a huge part of this team, not turning over the ball, and he was moving the ball. If you look at the air yards, you look at the metrics, he was doing a really good job for Houston. This kid, David Mills, he came in second half last game. First drive was a 3-and-out. Came back, then threw a pick at his own 8. They ended up scoring the other team. And then later in the game, he got a little lucky with some penalties late that he got called on the other side of the team. So they were able to advance the ball. But this week, I've studied this kid a little bit. He's doesn't really check down too much. And I think that's going to be a problem going against one of the best pass rushes in the NFL in Carolina. I think this defense is for real. I think this defense is mean. So I think Carolina's going to be coming. And if he's not checking it down and getting that ball out quick, they're going to be coming after him. And if possible, they may force some turnovers.
Godfather. Sam Darnold shouldn't be favored by anyone over 8.5, 9 on the road against anybody. That's all.
It's funny. People say that, right? But I like the kid. He was on the Jets for a few years, and they had the worst offensive line in football.
And
that can destroy anybody. You saw what happened. Mahomes is a great quarterback, but last year in the Super Bowl, he had some of the worst numbers in Super Bowl history, and that's because his offensive line was decimated, and they couldn't protect him. So to say Sam Darnold isn't a good quarterback or maybe a kid that can play, it's still too early. I want to see how he performs with this Carolina Panthers team, and then I'm going to hold my opinion until after the season's over.
That may be the first and only time that Sam Darnold and Pat Mahomes are going to be mentioned in the same sentence.
Well, I'm just giving you an example of how great Mahomes is, and his numbers sucked last year in the Super Bowl. If you can't protect your quarterback, and the Jets can't protect anybody. I don't even want to talk about that Jets team, but they're so bad. When it comes to this game, Tyrod Taylor was putting up some elite numbers early, right? If you look at his early numbers, he was just his CPOE, his EPA models. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the first 2 weeks of the season. Now he's no Tom Brady, and I can't justify this game moving so much. It's up to 8.5. If you can grab a 9 on the dog here, from a price perspective, the Texans are still deciding. Even though I'm big on this Carolina team, I'm bullish. I bet the over 7.5 wins at the beginning of the season. I actually think they're the second best team in the division behind Tampa Bay. But that's just a big number to these guys are NFL players on the road in the NFL. Oh, I didn't make it official, but if I'm leaning a certain way, gun to my head, I'm probably taking the dog here. Anyone else have an opinion on the side of the total?
Nah, I like Carolina.
I love the dog. What did Batman say about the total? I didn't hear him.
I said that I think that Davis Mills is going to put up some points in this game, in my opinion. So I took the prop bet over 1.5 touchdown passes plus 210. I think it's a great bet.
All right, let's go to the next game on the screen, 49-490. The Broncos are looking like world beaters, and all of a sudden they're 3.5-point favorites at home against a real bad Jets team. Total opened up 43, it's down to 42. Batman, you got a side here, or on the you got an opinion on the side of the total?
This is the one game I have absolutely nothing on. I don't like the Bradley Chubb injury, and I think the Jets are terrible on both offensive and defensive lines. And I don't have anything here.
Let me go to 8 ball. 8 ball, you got a side or a total here?
I lean Jets plus a 10.5, 11. I think it's the right side in this one. I think the defense is going to improve as the year goes on. The coach came from San Fran, great defensive coach. I think he's going to have them playing. They played great against Carolina week 1 in the second half. I think, the defense is going to keep them in this game.
Yeah, actually, Dave Mason from BetOnline, this is one of the sharper bets he gave me. He gave me the Jets as the sharp side, the Cincinnati Bengals, Jets plus 11, Bengals plus 4.5, and he gave me 2 other games. Man, I mean, the way Denver plays, conservative, smash mouth football, good defense. Now you lose Chubb. Their quarterback doesn't turn the ball over. The Broncos quarterback doesn't turn the ball over. It's going to be tough. I mean, you get one turnover by this Jets team, and the Broncos can cover that number. The Jets got to play flawless here. Plus 11. Oh, man, I'm leaning towards the dog. Jimmy, you got an opinion on this one?
Yeah, mute him.
Agree. I do like the dog a little bit. He got a great number, plus 11, but the problem is the turnovers of the Jets. Their play's been so inconsistent in the first 2 weeks, so I'm staying away. I'd rather donate my lottery ticket to another team.
All right, let's go to the next game. This is probably the biggest game of the week, maybe, other than Green Bay, San Fran. You got Tampa Bay going to L.A. Both teams have looked great. Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford. The line flip-flop opened up Rams -1, 1.5. Now it's the other way, 1.5. Tampa Bay on the road as road favorites. Let me go to the 8 ball first. 8 ball, you got an opinion on this one?
Yeah, I know the public's on the Bucks in here, but I agree with them. I think this Bucks team is being underrated. Through the first 2 weeks of the season, despite leading the league in turnovers and penalties, they're still averaging 40 points a game. That tells me that offense is elite, and I don't think that Rams defense is going to be able to stop them. The Rams, last week to me, they should have lost the game against the Colts. Colts were moving up and down the field. They turned the ball over a couple times, got them in trouble. I think the Bucks come in, they win this game.
Let me go to 8 ball. 8 ball, you have an opinion on this one? I'm sorry, Costco.
Yeah.
I'm pretending to be a host here.
Yeah, I like Tampa Bay. I mean, everyone in the world might be betting them, but I don't think it matters this game. I think Tampa Bay's the best team I've seen in a very long time. I mean,
They were pretty good last year, weren't they?
well, I bet him every game in the playoffs money line. Rooster was on the other side, but
Yeah, Steve, were you on Tampa Bay last year, or were you on Kansas City for the Super Bowl?
Tampa.
look, I had to teach Rooster a lesson last year.
Oh man, it's quite was there.
You don't bet against Brady in big games, okay? One thing, it doesn't matter with other teams, it doesn't matter with other players, but Brady's just a different entity. But I think this Tampa Bay team is really the best team I've seen in years. I mean, they have weapons everywhere. The Rams' defense, to me, they've looked flawed. Last week against Indy, Carson Wentz, who, he's been getting hit all over, and he's still able to drive that team down. Now, they made some mistakes in the red zone, certain things. That's something Tom Brady doesn't do, okay? I think Tampa Bay wins this game. I also do like the over. I think Tampa Bay's secondary is hurt, and I think the Rams, Stafford, and McVay are going to be able to take advantage of that. It's a high total, and it's already moved. But, I mean, it's hard to go under. I lean over, but I do like Tampa Bay. I bet Tampa Bay in a teaser early, and then I think I'm going to bet them -1.5 as well.
We have some opposition here. I know someone on the show likes the other side. Let's go to Batman. Batman, what's your opinion on this match?
I bet the LA Rams -3.5 plus 240 today. I think that the LA Rams, I think this is the same game that Tom Brady is going to play last year. If you guys remember when he went to the Chicago Bears, I don't know if you guys remember that kind of
Thursday night
there. And, they have a really good front four. I think that they have the best front four probably that Tom Brady is going to see all year, in my opinion. I think their linebacking core is strong. I think they can play man-up coverage. I realize that having a wide receiver out doesn't mean anything to a true pro, but I'm going to tell you this. In this game, Antonio Brown not playing is enormous. And here's why. So the whole world today has been talking, oh, they're going to replace him with Scotty Miller. And you're hearing the Tampa Bay coach say, hey, Scotty Miller's a great player. Scotty Miller is a good player. But let me tell you something. When it's 3rd and 8, okay, and they're at their 20-yard line and it's the 4th quarter and they're down 6, you're going to go to Scotty Miller? No, not a chance. The LA Rams here, in my opinion, are the best bet on the board. I think they're going to dominate them at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. I think this game means more to them. Tampa Bay is looking ahead to next week. You can't tell me, even though Tom Brady is the greatest ever, that he doesn't have New England in his sights and been studying that this week. And Gronk, I love the LA Rams here. This is a platinum play for me, and I'm waiting for that to get to 2 and buy it to 3, and I think it's the best bet on the board.
There you go. We got some opposition on that. All right, next game's going to be fun to watch, too. 493, 494. Seattle travels to the Dome, Minnesota. Minnesota's starving here. 0-2. You start out 0-3 on the season. I mean, you missed the playoffs 75% of the time. Game opened up, 2, 2.5, down to 1, 1.5. Seattle road favorites. And over the years, I've noticed anytime a road favorite's laying 1 on the road, it doesn't fare well for them. Let me go to 8 Ball here. 8 Ball, you got an opinion on this one?
I haven't taken a side in this one, but early on, I do lean Minnesota. I think they can arguably be 2-0 right now. They missed a chip shot field goal against Arizona. They won the box score against Cincinnati. So Seattle, to me, their defense has looked a little flawed at times. It's scary betting against Russell Wilson. I'm staying off the game as of now, but I do lean Minnesota.
And let me go to Batman. I know you got an opinion on this one, Batman.
Yeah, I like the spot for Minnesota here, too, as well. I agree with 8 Ball. I think they won the box scores in both games. I think they were a little bit unlucky, honestly, especially in the first game. They absolutely should have won that Cincinnati game. Just had some real misfortune there late in that game. I thought they played great in Arizona. I thought the quarterback played well. I think it's a great spot. I think Mike Zimmer's, will get these guys rallied up here. I think that 2 or better is the right side in this game.
Yeah, I think the public's going to be all over Seattle here. All they got to do is win the game against an 0-2 team. I like Minnesota. I think Minnesota wins the game. I mean, just you can take the points. You can, it's Minnesota's game. This is their Super Bowl. They don't win here, forget about this team. Minnesota's done for the season. I like Minnesota here, +1, +1.5, +2 if you can find it. Obviously, shop around for the best number you can find. The more outs you have, the better off you're going to be. College kids, Matt, you like anyone here?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, I think Minnesota's the side. I look at this game. I know Dalvin Cook's a little banged up, but I think he plays, and I think they are able to run on this team. I think they get the run game going, and they set up the play action. Yeah, I do like Minnesota. Seattle, I mean, it's scary betting against Russell Wilson. I mean, that's one of the quarterbacks in this league that scares me. He scares me every single week. I bet against him. But, I mean, I like Minnesota here.
Yeah, they do win a lot, but they win in an inconsistent fashion, seems like. There's some holes in this team that you can take advantage of, and I think Minnesota can definitely do that this week. I don't know.
They've impressed me, though, Seattle. I think their defense has impressed me more than I thought. I think their defensive line has been better than I thought. But I do, like I said, I like Minnesota this week.
All right, let's go to the next game on the screen. I know Jimmy's got a bet on this one. Game 495, 496 on your sports betting screen. The Packers took down Detroit. I mean, Aaron Rodgers made some of the best throws I've ever seen in my life in that one. And they also covered the spread. All the teams have covered. Green Bay played Detroit. I mean, we bet any team we wanted. It was all covered for you. They traveled to San Francisco. Game was up to 4. It's back down to 3. Then we go to Jimmy to shoot the 3 for Jimmy. You got an opinion on this one?
Yes, I'm sorry to say I do. This is just like my Dallas Cowboys last week. This is just wrong. I mean,
who'd you give an envelope to? Wait, time out. What's going on?
You got the envelope? Listen, there's a lot. I wouldn't now. I'm not saying I spoke to a referee or people that has a whistle in their hand, but if I was going to put my money on this game, you better put it on Green Bay right now. I think Mr. Rodgers is probably looking back from that game against San Francisco 2 years ago, the playoff game, where he got disheveled by the 49ers. And I just love the spot for Green Bay. This is my game of the week. If I could take 3.5, More the merrier. And Batman, take it on the money line too.
Yes, sir.
Well,
You got
know,
it.
He's got some
Give me
problems
the
on the defensive side of the ball. And
This might even be an action point bet. I like it so much.
wow. But I was saying, 49ers got some problems, some injuries. The Eagles took advantage of them in between the 20s, but then when they got to the red zone, they couldn't score. Obviously, the field shortened. So, but you're not going to see that this week from Aaron Rodgers. I like Green Bay. I like +4, +3.5, +3. I think they win the game outright. Let me go to Batman. Batman, you got an opinion on this?
Yeah, I do. You see what I'm wearing? Can you see it? Can you see the hat, Jimmy? I got this for you. I didn't even know what your game of the week was, but I got it for you. I'm wearing my Packer gear. Here's the thing. If Green Bay, let's just say, for instance, Green Bay would have played a really close game week 1 against New Orleans and not lost by, say, 40, okay? Let's say they lose by a field goal. They come in, they beat Detroit. What's this line? It's a pick, right?
Yes.
So you're getting 3.5. I mean, look at the throws that Aaron Rodgers made. I don't know if anybody really has even mentioned this week. Those Detroit defenders were playing really good defense. Those guys were tight coverage, probably some of the best Detroit defense I've seen because of their new coach. Aaron Rodgers made big-time throws last week. I love them in this matchup. Just like Jimmy said, I'm on the same side.
Monday night. Yeah, Eagle Cowboys, 497, 498 on your screen. Game was 4. It's starting to dip a little bit, 3.5. Let me go to 8-ball first. 8-ball, you got an opinion here?
It's a little early, but I do lean the Eagles plus a 3.5. Division game. I think the Eagles defense has looked great through 2 games. I think the Cowboys defense hasn't looked so well. They gave up 30 to Tampa, and the Chargers moved the ball. They couldn't score them in the red zone, but they did move the ball all game long. So it's going to come down to who's going to be able to get a stop here. I trust the Eagles defense more than the Chargers, but I am scared of that Cowboys offense. They've shown they're elite, so I'm going to wait and see, but I do lean the Eagles early.
Mark, you're a big Eagles fan. What's your opinion on this one?
Fuck the Cowboys. That's all I got to say.
You're going to have to mark this with explicit content when you upload it.
Bottom line, as long as I get to see Jerry Jones and his two bratty kids with frowns on their face after Elliott kicks a game-winning field goal, that'll be just fine for me.
Yeah, can you mute that guy who's typing away over there?
Oh, that's it. It's
we never look at his, don't get to his name. Oh, no. Did I ask college kids yet? I've been drinking a little bit. Did I ask you yet, Matt? Who you like to do?
No, but I do like Philadelphia. I mean, I think they have a better core when it comes to the offensive line, defensive line. I know Brooks got hurt. I know Graham's hurt, but that's why they signed Josh Sweat to a long-term contract, and that's why they're so deep at these positions. They're going to be they just have such a good core, and Jalen Hurts has not turned over the ball. Yeah, he keeps them in games by not turning over the ball, especially with a great O-line, great D-line. Dak and that offense, it is scary.
Scary as fuck.
They got a lot of weapons down there in Dallas, and those refs are a little weird down in Dallas. But no, I think
that's the other problem. You brought up a good point, right? Those refs in Dallas. I mean, they've been known to party on the Jerry Jones fucking train, on the Jerry Jones yacht, on the Jerry Jones Winnebago. Like that's what scares the shit out of me about this game here, man.
Can I?
Go ahead.
No, you're up. No, you're up. I want something after you're done.
No, I was going to say, Dallas might win the game, but when you get +4, +3.5 on the Eagles, it's the right side.
I just want to teach the college kids something. Unless the logo on your cup is paying us, please put some tape over it.
I'm sponsored.
Okay. As long as they're paying somebody.
All right. So Matt, you like the Birds. 8-ball likes the Birds. Batman, you like the Birds or the Cowboys?
So is this the public bailout Monday night game of the year? The 4:00 games are Tampa Bay. Public will crush them as they are now. The Seattle Seahawks, the public are going to crush them on Sunday night. And then the public's going to crush San Francisco because I think Aaron Rodgers is done. So if they get swept, is this the Dallas bailout Monday night football game? Just speaking for fun.
Yeah.
I'll take the Eagles +4 more all day. I think it's a close game, divisional game. I like the O&D lines a little bit. I do not like the Dallas defense. I think that'll give Philly a chance to score some points and keep it a little bit within the number of close. So Philly +4 for me, I think is a great bet.
I like
I want to thank Dave Mason for Bet Online giving us all the bet splits. Sharp sides so far at Bet Online: Cincinnati Bengals +4.5, Jets +11, Tampa Bay +1, and Green Bay +4. Thanks again, Dave. Thanks for Bruno coming on from iBet Crypto. Sheep, you got anything to close with? Anything for the listeners out there?
There's only one thing I have to say. Go to ibetcrypto.io and get your best bets on tonight's NFL games.
There you go, guys. Thanks for having us on. Thank you, Batman. Thank you, 8-Ball, College Kids. Russo will be on next week. He was at Pika's tearing down some pies. And that's
Best
about it.
kids in the world.
Thanks for watching.
Good night.